somebody's got Mr. Softy coming around. I know that shit. I know that jingle.
Fucked my computer up.
Dun,
Dude,
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
that
dun.
is a
I don't know
Mr.
if I'd
Softy.
really wanna-
Good call, DB.
I don't know if I'd want to buy ice cream at the moment, to be honest, from the ice cream truck that visits
Come
everywhere.
trust this
That
guy
touches
you don't know
children's
to
hands
handle
all
ice
the time.
Yeah, and he only visits every stop.
All right, so
across the entire
I was
city.
streaming with x64 CPU bound just before, and VLC basically crashed it, and now I'm streaming back on NVIDIA, and I don't notice a difference in quality. Like, I think their streaming NVENC has gotten that good.
It's gotten better. It's gotten a lot better.
It's
yeah.
like I don't notice a difference, so
Also,
I
your
guess
graphics,
there's no
your,
need.
Your graphics card's better than your CPU, I think. Wait, yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I have a 10.
probably so.
This computer is the streaming computer, so it's got a 6700.
This is your old one. Yeah, no, your graphics card's way better.
with
yeah.
a 1080 in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so sorry about that. It says I'm still dropping frames. What the fuck? There's no CPU usage.
And then it's probably your
Server issue?
Yeah,
Maybe we're streaming too high now because I increased the bit rate.
probably.
Let's see. What the fuck, man? This is I was
Dude,
just
it's all
doing
Tom
it-
Brady's fault, dude.
I was just doing this on DIY. It's perfectly fine.
You weren't with
All right,
Tom Brady,
whatever.
though.
Whatever. No, yeah, Tom Brady. I don't know why he doesn't just retire, dude. He's literally doing what Michael Jordan did. You know, other than going to baseball, playing baseball, he's just.
I do like he could. I know it was mostly a joke because he is the Michael Jordan of football, but fucking the Anaheim Ducks just photoshopped him onto an Anaheim Ducks jersey, and we're just like, yeah, just come play hockey, dude.
I mean, you might as well.
He would die.
You might as well.
No, he should not play hockey, dude.
He shouldn't be going to another team.
No.
He should just retire. All right, so let's try this again. Hold on, guys. Let me get my videos back up. We'll talk.
I mean,
about
he's switching teams because of offensive line mostly. If we're being honest, he should definitely not go to a team that's like 80 times worse for his survivability.
Yeah, offensive line and weapons, because like Godwin and Evans, is a lot better than what he had in New England.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to see that? All right. Now we're looking good. Okay. Yes. Now we're looking good. Stream is in 60 frames. Ori's looking great. So, all right. So in this, just look at the game. I mean, it's just such a gorgeous game, much like the original. You know. I really don't have too much else to say about it. You have to play it. It's just so fucking fun, man. It's just so fluid. The best when I do the review, you'll see I already written the review down, but. The game is so fluid. I've never played a more fluid platformer ever. It's just so nice to move around as Ori. And the way that they integrate the combat with the platforming and the puzzle solving all together, all at once, is just so fucking fun. For $30, get it. If you have Game Pass, definitely get it. You're gonna love it, man. It's just such a great fucking title. I do want more though. I did find it a little short. I think I had like maybe less than 10 hours on it. I mean, it's a very short game, especially once you get pretty good. 'Cause the best part about the game is like you start off with just a jump. You don't even have an attack. Then you go through and you're kind of slow and you can only jump and you can't cling to walls or anything. But over the progression of the game, you build up more and more speed, and then you master the jump, then you move on to the attack. You master the attack, then you move on to the range attack. You master that, then you move on to the cling, and then the jump, and then the dodge, and then the air dodge, and then before you know it, you're literally just zooming across the world, fighting these insects and solving these puzzles and trying to figure out what's going on in this world.
Classic Metroidvania.
Yeah, very much so. And I will say, the way that the game rewards you is also great. So it's, you really just are trying to play so you can find different skills. Like I remember pretty early on, I was just like, I know there is this magic skill that's involved, and I need to find it. So you want to kind of get there, and then when you do, they set you up with these really fun challenges that showcase that. And then you utilize that in your combat. And by the end of the game, I mean, you're using every sort of attack. I wish there was more buttons on the controller so you can set up more attacks on your controller on the fly. But they do a great job. You just saw it there where you can just bring up your skills list and then just map it to a button real quick. So you could be mid-jump, you map your bow and arrow to B, and then you can just shoot a bow from far away. So fucking fun, man. It's gorgeous. The sound design is great. And I'm just so happy with it. I had such a blast playing it. Could not wait to get back into the world and play it, and I'm definitely going to play through it again. But performance, so I'm hearing performance on Xbox is atrocious for some reason. PC I had no problems, not one, not a hiccup. There's a little bit of a stutter when you jump into the map, and I will say the biggest downside of any Metroidvania is that you have to constantly interrupt the action with looking at your map because you just don't know where the fuck you are half the time. And I wish they can figure out a way where you didn't need to do that, where you didn't need to press a menu button. It stops the action and your menu opens up. It takes 2 seconds for it to open up, and then you get out and then you're back in the action. I would love for it to some faster way to get through that. Here's a boss fight. Boss fights are all relatively difficult, but you know, it's not a Souls game. You know, you're gonna spend a couple hours at most on one enemy, and then you're on to the next. But overall, yeah, super fucking pumped with Ori and Nioh. I have 2 great games for you for your quarantine. So go check them out if you're bored or you need something to play. All right, what do you got? What's this? Trails from Zero.
Yeah, so I've been waiting for this for a while. It's a fan translation of the
Wait. What happened to Astral Chain? Have you played that yet?
fan translation came out.
What is that?
So there's if you've heard of Trails of Cold Steel, it's this. So the Trails series so far is 9 games right now. They all take place in the same world, the very good world building. But they're each kind of like different arcs. So the Trails in the Sky was the first arc, 3 games. Then you have the Trails Crossbell arc, which is these 2 games. And then the Cold Steel series is 4 games. And that's a whole different arc. But they're all in the same universe, shared characters, like cameos, all that kind of thing. So
4 games in one. So is there like a total of 8
so it's
games?
It's like Trails of Cold Steel 1 through 4. 4 is not yet in the West. It's coming. 3 is coming to PC, but it's already out on PS4. The original games were PSP games, and then they made these other games that were on the Vita, and it's the Crossbell arc. It takes place at the same time as Cold Steel. They announced PS4 remakes for them, but we haven't gotten them. These are games that never came to the West. Like we have 6 of the 9 games. We're going to be getting the 7th game. But these 2, we don't know. But this was a fan translation patch that had been in the works for like 4 years now. They also do a bunch of changes to the actual, like some of the systems. Like the options menu is much cleaner. There's a turbo mode, which wasn't in the base game. As one of the developers I was talking to told me, if you can change the frame rate, you can add turbo. So I played the first 3 games, really liked them, and I was like, I want to play the Cold Steel games, but I wanted to play them in a specific order. Trails from Zero being the next one to play. So this actually came out last week, and it crashed their servers. It crashed their website. And it's, I think as of right now, as far as the downloads they can track, it's up to 13,000 downloads. And that's from what they can track. That doesn't include torrents or some of the mirror downloads.
Right.
So as far as they can track data-wise, in just a few days, it's got 13,000 downloads, which is really good for just a fan translation of a game that is extremely niche. But I've just started playing it, and I am thoroughly enjoying a lot of the stuff that has changed from the first games. But this is my stream project. I'm planning on streaming all of the Trails from Zero. Then I moved to the okay fan translation that came out for the game after that on PSP.
Okay, as in the translation is okay, or
The
the game?
translation's acceptable. It's not great. It's not a great translation, but it's not as bad as the translation that was before this one for Trails from Zero.
What do you mean by that? I don't know what that
So
means.
when it's they're like translating Japanese to English is not that simple.
Right.
It's a very I mean it's one of the reasons why like Persona takes forever to come to the West. Is the translation alone. It's just so much text. So some people translate it, and their version of translating it is you throw it into Google. But there's
Right.
also different changes like tone,
Right.
like different words. So the original translation for this game, I think there's one scene I saw on Twitter that was like in the new updated scene, one of the lines is like stop screwing with us. You guys are just pretenders. In the poor translation, the literal words that the guy who translated it said was stop fucking with us.
Mm.
And it's like that's completely different tonal language.
Yeah.
It's a completely different tone. As you know, as well as being vulgar language, which is not usually something you're going to see in those games. So it's that's what I mean by like translating.
Mm-hmm.
You can have much different ways of expressing the same ideas. But this one, I was streaming it and I had one of the developers come into my chat and I was talking to them and they put a lot of work into this. And the installer is fantastic because if you don't even have the game installed yet, if you just bought it, it'll install the game as well. So if you like JRPGs, if you like niche JRPGs with really interesting combat systems, I really do like the combat system it has. I would check it out. It's check out Trails in the Sky first, but if you find that you enjoy that and you eventually make it to Trails from Zero, there's translation from Geofront. You just look up Geofront Trails from Zero, you'll find it on Google. Really, really good job. They put a lot of work in and they deserve some time off.
All right. What's coming up, by the way?
Doom and Animal Crossing
That's
on
right.
Friday.
That's right. Doom.
So
Doom as well, right?
Yep, both of them.
So Animal Crossing.
We'll get actually we have a piece of news about their release in GameStop in a bit.
Okay.
Who cares? Why are you going to GameStop? It's fucking quarantine season. Don't go to GameStop.
That's kind of the point of the article that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I saw this earlier.
No, because so Kate, my girlfriend, who I am here quarantined with, she was having that dilemma of, well, do I pre-order physical copy or are they even going to let me in? So no, she went and got the digital and has it fully downloaded, and now Nintendo's eShop is completely crashed.
Did she
To
get
be
the
fair,
download before?
I am buying Doom on PC. I'm not getting that on console.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Did she get it before it crashed?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
No, she got it like a week ago, but it was just like, yeah, it's no, just don't bother.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pumped for Doom. Everything I've seen looks pretty good. I see the reviews look pretty good on it. What were your guys' opinion of Doom, the first Doom, if you guys played it?
2016.
Yeah, 2016. Not
All of the remakes, they've been good games. They're fun games. I've just
they're not
like
they're not groundbreaking. You know what I mean?
no, not at all. But like they are very good games, and I enjoy them quite a bit. I will never
Same.
pay full price for them.
They don't push the envelope of the genre. What they provide is just the genre at some of its best.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You know, when
if you like your first person shooter games to be very quick paced, very violent, rip and tear, metal, yeah, that's what I came here for. That's what I want.
And that's what it is.
And they'll usually run fantastically on everything.
Oh yeah, as much as we'll bash Bethesda, I mean they don't develop it. Thank God, they don't develop it. Thank God. ID does a great job.
Yeah, the game is extremely well optimized. By the way, did you guys see Hugo Martin on Rogan? He did a whole interview with Joe Rogan, And it's so funny. If you watch Joe Rogan, you know all he cares about is Quake Champions. So he sits down with Hugo Martin, the guy who created Doom, the new Doom, and he's basically the whole interview is him asking him why Doom Eternal is not just Quake Champions. It's so funny.
I haven't played Quake Champions, but I was like a huge, like one of the first PC games. Like around the same time I played like CS 1.6. I was also playing like Quake
Quake.
Arena.
Yeah, Quake
Arena,
and
yeah.
Quake and Unreal Tournament and CS, dude.
And
Those were
Tribes, dude.
pillars.
Tribes as well.
Those were such good times.
Played a lot
Yeah,
of Tribes. And Ultima Online and EverQuest as well. So many. And
then
StarCraft.
WoW came out and killed everything.
Yeah. Yeah, StarCraft, Dark Age. I mean, we can go on. We should do like a retro PC game show. I never got into RuneScape. Just because I had EverQuest.
RuneScape was after that, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a
Maple
little
Story.
later. Plus, there wasn't EverQuest. I thought EverQuest or Dark Age came on. I was such a nerd for those fucking
Gaia
stupid games.
Online.
Maple Story.
Stop with these really terrible.
What was the one that was worms?
MMOs, dude.
What was the worms one?
Ragnarok Online.
What was the one that was like
That was
Maple Story
later.
but worms?
I don't fucking know,
Fucking
dude.
Worms Armageddon.
No, it was like Maple Story, like the Japanese. It was fucking awesome. But it was a worms combat. My cousin, we used to play it all the time. But yeah, I could go on for days. Yeah, so go watch, if you want to know more about the game, Doom Eternal, and why it's not Quake Champions, go watch that Joe Rogan interview. It's fucking hilarious. I mean, he's not nice to this guy. He's really not. Hugo takes it like a champ, but he's just basically like, wait a second. They get into some weird thing where Hugo Martin says like, you know, the game doesn't curse. I make sure the game didn't have any cursing and didn't have any sex, so you could play with your kids. And then Rogan's like, wait, I just watched a man chainsaw a fucking demon in half and then, you know, explode his skull with a shotgun. But that is kind of interesting. That is kind of interesting how we don't see that as a problem. Because I don't see, I mean, I'd let my kids...
It's because we're so desensitized to violence at this point.
I guess that's what it is.
Unless it's Mortal Kombat 11, and you work on that team, and you have horrible, horrible nightmares.
Don't worry, dude. He's just preparing for the first DLC that's coming out day one. That's just it turns all of the enemies into Corona Chan, and then it's kid friendly. You're killing the coronavirus. You're good.
Or the day one patch that makes it into Duke Nukem. Because that's where your language and sex come from.
I personally think like over the top violence is less offensive than like regular violence. Like to me, Grand Theft Auto is far more violent than Mortal Kombat 11. Like, cause it's just so over the top. It's almost unrealistic. You know, ripping someone's spine out and like shitting down someone's throat. That is just like, yeah, it's just like cartoony violence, but something like Grand Theft Auto where, you know, you go down a sidewalk, it feels like you're fucking nailing people on a sidewalk. I find that so way different. Maybe that's just me.
Dude, no, well, that's why the cartoon nature of it definitely does impact it a lot. I agree with you there. Like that's why WoW got into some trouble, but it didn't get into as much trouble because it's all cartoon graphics.
Yeah.
But then the entire basis of the game for 20 years now is you started as a peon and now you're a god and go kill everything.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's okay because it's cartoony.
God of War.
Yeah. Yeah, God of War is another example. God of War is another example.
Well, yeah, but now he's got a son, so it's okay. He's just teaching his son.
He's literally teaching his son how to kill. But that's okay because it's cartoonish-ish. All right, let's get into some news. All right, so we got some full Xbox specs up here, baby. Yeah. So basically, the new thing that we saw. I mean, we had the specs before, but the new thing is the memory card. They have memory cards now, and I think they're pretty cool. Let me see if there's an image of it. There's got to be, right? There's got to be an image of it. So here you can see the Minecraft ray tracing, which is great because it's actual particle ray tracing. The way the Minecraft ray tracing works, it's like real ray tracing. There's none of those like light boxes or cube maps or anything like that. So you get an understanding of kind of what ray tracing adds to a scene in a small way. Yeah, Yeah, and then they have the speed. Where's the memory card? Let's see if I can find it. They don't have it on their own thing here. Okay, I'm just gonna have to find another website for it. But there's new memory cards at Xboxes. Yes, I said that correct as well. Memory cards.
Are they really though?
Yeah,
Are they really memory cards? I mean, it's no, it's an NVMe drive that you just stick in the back of your computer and a
So,
fancy looking.
Yeah, but that's a memory card.
What I'm
No,
saying is,
it's an SSD. It's not a memory card in the way that I would think. Like, fuck yeah,
like the
memory cards.
PlayStation 2 memory card.
Yeah, but you can't
like
use it in anything
So-
else. So it's a memory card.
So
I mean, I think you could if you actually just ripped it out of its casing.
remember when they
I
had
mean,
that
maybe.
patent?
It's like it's probably a hard thing to shuck, but it's probably like any other hard drive that you can still shuck out of it.
I mean, if you got to get into semantics, I think it only works on Xbox, and it just provides memory. It's just an expansion thing, and you can put your saves on there.
what I will say,
I hate it.
two things. Two things. One, you remember when we had this discussion about the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5?
Yes, Doobie, you were right.
And I'm
You
not
were
saying I was
right.
right because apparently, from what I'm hearing, that patent was actually for a children's toy. But the idea behind what I had with like removable storage in this fashion of like
Your
a card
predictions
for
are on
20
always on point. You fail to impress.
I think when you're dealing with this hardware and like SSDs only come in so big size, and these game files are going to get bigger, you're going to have a better way of doing expandable storage.
Wait, by the
I
way,
think-
hold on a second. Caitlin says, I heard Jerry say Animal Crossing from the other room and had to come defend it. And she was also hella into Gaia Online.
Oh God!
I continue to.
Block that out of my memory. I like this idea because where we are with like you're gonna be able to fill up these hard drives fast. We're already at that point now where they're just filling really quickly. And now you have essentially like a removable storage. You don't have to worry about what games you're deleting to install new games.
But you do. With this is what my problem with it is this is actually going to be the only way to expand storage for Xbox X games. If you read into it, you can still use other third-party hard drives like you've always been able to, but only for backup and or original Xbox games.
But that
So you have
makes
to buy this
sense.
bullshit.
That makes
You have
sense
to buy
me.
this.
It makes sense to me.
How much is it going to be?
It doesn't because
Going-
their reasoning is bullshit. Okay, as someone who is in a programming sense, I think it is really cool because if you allow devs to have that ability, that is a cool ability. Fucking almost no games actually need an NVMe speed. Like this is going to be relevant for GTA and about 5 other games, and the rest of them this is completely overkill and useless.
Yeah,
What I
let's
will
see.
say
Go ahead.
is it's going to come down to price. I want to know what the price is like. And the
It's gonna
other
cost
time,
more than a
the
normal
other-
SSD.
The other example of proprietary memory cards that just give me flashbacks is one of the reasons why the Vita sucked so much. The
Yeah.
Sony Vita, like the PlayStation Vita, was not only a failure because it just couldn't compete with Nintendo, but because of its proprietary memory card system and the fact that it was expensive. They were expensive memory cards, and I mean like not worth the money expensive.
But yeah, I would expect that with this, to be honest, because the only size that they've talked about so far in articles are 1 terabyte cards, which is okay. So it's an NVMe drive. That's a $200 hard drive by itself.
Now, I wonder
If
why
that's
they
if you can
didn't
only buy it
just...
in a terabyte size, you're looking at 200 for the absolute cheapest for this add-on memory card. That's
Yeah.
why I can't call it a memory card. It's not. It's a hard drive that you're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg for.
Yeah. No, it's definitely just like a hard drive.
It's small for 1 terabyte, which is nice.
Yeah.
but
It brings
it's
up
gonna
the
be pricey.
nostalgia of the memory card. It's just a new age memory card. And I mean,
Because,
I
I mean,
get
in
the
the old
idea
days-
that I'm trying to think of like how much throughput does like a NVMe through Thunderbolt They can't do Thunderbolt because it's AMD architecture. So how much would it be for
Oh,
like a
they could. They've been working on
3.2?
doing that, but still, like, if you could do with Thunderbolt, it doesn't really it doesn't have to be a PCIe technically.
Yeah, I like the idea that you can slot that right in there and not have to really.
It's
I
it's
can understand
consumer
I understand why you wouldn't
friendly
like it. I understand why you wouldn't like
because
it.
like when you look at the
It's
PlayStation,
it's
and
one of those. It's just it's too gimmicky to me, I guess, and that's why I don't like it. It's like I like the idea and behind it, and I like if it was an optional thing. But the fact that this is the only way you'll be able to store extra games that you buy is a really weird slope to me where I don't think NVMEs are that there yet to be used as flash media, basically.
would that be I had this question before, like if as we move away from discs, people who buy their games physically, would they essentially just be buying a stick you plug in, like an NVMe that you would just plug in that has the
No,
game,
not
Yeah,
maybe
plug it in and
later.
play?
well,
Maybe later.
I think you could get to that, and I think that would be more interesting. But what I'm thinking with the way this is going to go too is you're going to have the ones that are actually true NVMEs that go through PCIe, and then you're going to have the El Cheapo knockoffs that are just a SATA drive that goes through uh, PCIe. Because you can also get those in NVMe format, and it's just a smaller short stick of NVMe. They make NVMe in about 5 different sizes, honestly. So you can still just get a SATA drive speed wise, and that's what I think they're going to scam people with.
Well, I think that also they don't want, if they're going to say this is the Xbox One X or Series X and this is our new thing, like increased loading speeds. They want you to have the fastest. They want to showcase that we have this speed, and they're not going to want you to lessen that in any way. So they're going to give you the one that's on board, and then if you want to attach it to a separate PCIe drive that's already attached to it, then this is the only way you can do that.
And I think
And I think that that's a cool idea.
I no, it's a novel idea. It's just I think the execution of it. I'm
You
not
would rather
sold
it where
on
you could take it out and use it on the computer.
Where it just has more of a
I guess
purpose
so,
rather
yeah,
than
because
just the
then
Xbox.
Right. I guess so, because then you would have more options, but it's also you'd have more options of these because you're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg now instead of just being able to buy a hard drive. And if you do just buy a hard drive, you can still do that. And I think people are still gonna honestly just buy an external hard drive thinking it's
Most
the same
people will.
thing.
Most people
And
will.
then you're gonna use that for backup, and you're still just gonna have to re-download in every game and delete every game and re-download it while you have your save drive.
Yeah.
I wonder if like I'm trying to think.
Because otherwise, I don't think people are gonna be lining up to be like, yeah, dude, here's $250 for a memory card.
I'm wondering how PlayStation 5 is going to handle it because we already know that they're using a proprietary SSD for their storage.
This
They
is what
said
they're
that.
doing. This is what they're doing.
This is also going to be what they're
I
doing.
guarantee it.
They're probably both doing the exact same thing, honestly.
At this point, it kind of makes
I
sense.
mean, we gotta remember these are 8K capable,
They're the same
Consoles.
system in almost all regards, to be
Yeah.
honest.
and it needs a lot of throughput, and you just can't get it through a USB connection if you want to run it off of this thing.
And do you think Microsoft has it? Like, wait until Sony says, "Hey, memory cards," and everyone goes, "Yeah, we remember."
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Now, if you could attach this to your controller, isn't that a memory card? Didn't the PlayStation do that, or no? Am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of the Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Dreamcast had that. VMU.
Yeah,
The VMU.
yes, the VMU, the virtual media
Oh.
console or whatever.
And then, the original PlayStation did have the Pocket Station,
Yeah,
and then
Memory
there was
blocks.
the Turbo Pack on the back of your N64 controller.
yes, that's right. The Rumble Pack too.
Stop plugging shit in your controllers. Just let a controller be a fucking controller.
Yeah, I thought this is pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely gonna be expensive. There's no doubt about it. Especially if it's only a 1 terabyte option. But you can really only do a 1 terabyte. You can't really do a 256 because you're gonna put 2 games on it. That's
Like I
the
said,
thing too.
I'm very interested in the future of the physical medium to see where we go once we get to that point where it's like nothing has a disk drive because disks are completely obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
and you want your games physically. I just imagine they would come in sticks like this, where you just plug
We're
and play.
moving away
just
from it,
your stick.
Doobie. It's gonna be gone soon. There's gonna be no
Yeah,
physical
where's my
nothing.
special edition and
Especially
what are
if
they,
coronavirus takes over the world,
NVMEs.
you're not meeting no one buying nothing. You're getting right over through the
Yeah, I know
Ethernet.
you can't. Yeah, everything's just Amazon robots drone bring my package.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. This is like one of the things that has come out of it. I'm more interested in seeing how the ray tracing is done. I want to see the games. I want to see how the ecosystem works. You know, is this going to be like some kick-ass media center thing that you can, because that's what was cool about the original Xbox was, you know, the whole XBMC thing. All that stuff is more interesting to me. So we'll see. Oh yeah, it's got the variable refresh rate.
So, yeah. I mean, sorry to sound all poo-poo about it. I guess you could do it. I just don't think it's going to be as cool as people are hoping, just because costs is going to just come in and fuck it up. Like, I think they could start doing it in smaller cards too. Like, they could, here's a 128, and you know, maybe you can get that for $40. But like, that's going to hold what, 2 games?
Yeah, if that.
So I think maybe that might start being the way people are going. I don't entirely know.
I imagine that I imagine the next 2-3 years the games are gonna just double in size. I don't think they're gonna ever get smaller. They would never have gotten smaller unless you go to Nintendo. So we'll see.
And Nintendo has always been like very good at optimizing games.
I guarantee you'll be able to get the Mad Catz or Angel Media NVMe Xbox drive for half the price. Yeah, the Hori NVMe drive for half the price. Yeah. All right. GTA 6 has a leak might have been confirmed from GTA 5 Online. So there was like an Easter egg that was found in recent GTA Online DLC, which confirms some alleged leaks about where Rockstar's next open world adventure could take place. And then they show you here on this map thing, and it looks like we're going to Vice City, boys. Looks like we're hitting Vice City in the new GTA 6. That's my favorite GTA. Tommy Vercetti is my favorite GTA character. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to see the new engine that they're going to employ on this game. Look at this. I mean, look at that logo with the weird sort of like 80s robot, like what's her name? C3PO robot. The champagne, the roses on the ground. I'm getting pumped up for it. Project Americas was one of the project names that they had for it. So we don't have too much yet, but we are starting to believe that we're gonna get Vice City. Boom. Confirmed. GameStop cancels midnight releases for Animal Crossing and Doom. Until further notice, late night launch events are suspended. The memo reads, to maintain the health and safety of our guests and associates, it's best that we avoid situations where large numbers of guests are gathered indoors or standing in line. Pretty rough time for this to be happening to GameStop. But, you know, what are you going to do?
It makes sense because a lot of places are doing curfews, 8 p.m. Retails need to be closed by 8 p.m.
Right.
So they just logistically can't do midnight release.
Right. You think they would if they were allowed to do it? Probably, right?
I think it would very much depend.
I don't think they care about their employees. I'm going to say it.
Oh no, they don't. I think it would very much depend on the size, like how many pre-orders there are. Because if there was more than like in some of these bigger areas where it's like you have 50 pre-orders and you expect maybe 50 people coming at midnight, there's already problems with having more than like 10 people in a group.
Yeah, they're gonna have to wait. You're gonna
So
have to get it.
I think just this isn't the climate for midnight releases.
No, just get it online.
Just buy it online at midnight.
No, yeah, it's not even the climate for for the next couple of months or whatever, don't buy physical.
Yeah.
Or buy it through Amazon.
If you're buying it from Amazon, I guess, yeah, but like otherwise, like just don't.
Just don't ever buy it physical.
You don't have the, yeah.
You hear that, Doobie?
We have the technology.
No,
He goes, no.
not listening. I'll risk Corona. That's fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm not really gonna risk it. I don't want to get sick.
I bet you do for if fucking Persona 6
I
was
will
coming
wait.
out.
I have at least 5 games that I immediately want to play on my backlog for streaming, let alone add another like 20.
Let me ask you this: if Persona 6 comes out, but you can only get the physical version by going through a corona-laden minefield. The other side of it is a GameStop. They have the physical version. Do you go? Do you
Which one has
risk
the
it?
special edition version?
The one that you get, and it's only $60.
But it has a special edition?
It's Persona 6 special edition, $60 physical release only. You can't download. You have to get you have to get
Well,
it
yeah,
physical.
of course. You gotta get the special edition, all the extra stuff.
That's
you
what
know,
I
you
expected.
need.
That's what I expected. No,
You know,
at
like-
least
like
you're
a school- like a
consistent.
school bag. Yeah, no. By the time that comes out, there'll be a cure. I'm fine.
All right. Yes, Indie World Showcase was on today. Exit the Gungeon, baby. We saw a
Which
little
is
bit
like
of
the
that.
only real thing in that I actually cared about.
Yeah, all this other stuff was whack.
The other stuff looked.
There was a
there's
game
few
called-
things that looked interesting.
There's
but
a game
nothing that,
called
like-
Baldo, and the guy who talked about it was bald. If you wanted to know that,
Baldo looked. It looked cute.
Looks
but I
whack.
probably won't play it.
looks whack.
Enter the Gungeon though. Like I was not expecting a sequel to not only get announced but then immediately shadow dropped.
Yeah,
Because I don't think this was even announced. It was just like, hey, this is coming. It's coming right now.
yeah.
And Enter the Gungeon's one of those, like, it's not in my top 10 of indie games I've played, but it's one of those I can tell you is a very good indie game.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
so Exit the
absolutely love
Gungeon is
it.
going to be great.
I loved me a roguelike. That was one of the first.
And I
that
love
was
the
like,
concept of it, of Exit the Gungeon. Like, Enter the Gungeon, I was like, oh, Enter the Gungeon 2. No, it's Exit
no,
the Gungeon.
now you gotta get the fuck out.
Opposite way.
Now you have to
Like,
go
this is
other-
actually really, I like this cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely gonna get it. Oh yeah, we have a PS5 deep dive coming tomorrow.
I feel like this has to be an answer to
All of
to
Xbox's
that
drops.
Xbox stuff. Like, well, we can't be left behind. We got to do something. Especially because, like, right now, this would have been what, GDC this week.
I don't know.
I'm pretty certain this week would have been GDC if it wasn't canceled.
You know
there's a
what's
lot of
gonna happen too, though? What's going to happen too is neither of them are going to work with each other because there's going to be one small stupid pin. They're going to look exactly the same except for like one little pin that plugs in completely differently.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and their architecture.
it's the same thing. It's the same Zen too,
Exact same. I mean, like if they somehow
which is good. in my
announce
opinion.
tomorrow that the PS5 can play PS1 through PS4 games as well, I will be sold.
Yeah, I'm already sold on it.
I mean, games wise, I'm pretty much.
That's what I'm saying.
They're gonna
It's
have
Xbox
good-ass
needs to
games.
really push it to me, especially now with Xbox Game Pass being on PC. I've been getting them all, dude. It's so great having it on PC. Just a quick download. I hop into World of Horror. I hopped into Scourgebringer. I hopped into Ori. If they keep doing that, I'll keep that subscription all day and then have a PS5. So we'll see.
I think Microsoft is like anybody having people in Game Pass is already it's money.
I'm curious to know, like, it does feel like they feel behind and they're trying to be like, look, we got something cool coming, but they got to have the games, dude. They got to have the games.
I mean, like I said, that's all. That's where Microsoft is. In relation to like Sony, it's like hardware. It's so similar. It's what games are you offering? What's the software? Give me the software that's going to sell.
Yeah.
That sells. I need to know the product.
And not just a Halo and a Gears of fucking War and a Forza.
See, said was it Hellblade 2? Great start, but
Yeah.
I need more.
But that's not even that
That's
exciting.
one.
That's not even that
like
exciting.
another 4 at least.
Yeah. We need more, like we need Last of Us and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But what
that's
I mean with the
thing is
architectures
they
all
don't
being
really have any more kind of like they don't really have any like established IPs they could really pull from, and the only ones I can think of that they could pull from that like aren't either dated or stale. Like I don't give a shit about a Gear 6.
right. That's what I'm saying.
Halo Infinite has somewhat of my curiosity because I like Halo, but I did not like Halo 4 or 5.
But that's not a console
But I'm
seller.
still willing to give them yeah.
In
But
my
like,
opinion, it's not.
yeah. Where's some of these
Horizons.
like where's your
you need
IPs? Like maybe Killer Instinct? Like Killer
no.
Instinct's a great it's Killer Instinct is a fantastic fighting game, and
Is
I
it a
wish
console
they brought it
seller?
back. That's the thing is fighting games are never console sellers unless you're Smash,
Right.
which isn't even a fighting game; it's a party game.
Right. And I want to see like what new things you got coming like with
Yeah,
like
it has
Horizon
to be
is
just
a perfect
straight up
example.
new IPs. Like you're not going to sell systems by saying, "Hey, guess what's back? Blinks 2."
Yeah.
Not a system seller, my dude.
They have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of, and that's the problem with like new IPs like that is they have Halo to kind of like lean on to try to start, but everything else is going to be new IPs, and how do you get people to buy in on that?
And like
Because like
Forza is like not even a
Nintendo has
game
the
in the
best.
racing community. Like no one plays
Nintendo's in a
Forza.
great spot because whenever they release a system, they can go, "Here's a Mario, here's a Zelda, here's a Smash Brothers. You like those things,
And then after the
you
first
like
year,
those
they're
things.
like,
Here's more of those things."
yeah, 10 years later. 10 years later, I need more Nintendo all the time, dude.
But that's the thing is even though like some people might not buy it, the fact of the matter is all three of those are system sellers.
Absolutely. And deservedly so, 'cause they were all amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's good, and it's good on them that they keep putting out great product in those IPs. But it's kind of like the benefit of the doubt for them, where they have such a history that it's going to be good because they can't afford for their IPs to turn to shit.
And I think Microsoft needs to understand the era of the first-person shooter is no longer on console. It's just not.
People want story-driven games.
If you're getting a console, you
to
want
sell your system.
Yeah, that people who play first-person shooters, they go on PC now. PC market is gigantic. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah, single player story-driven experiences don't make money for the developers, but they do make money for systems, for the parent companies, because Last of Us, Last of Us is a system seller at this point, but when the first Last of Us dropped, like you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
It came at the end of the PS3, and then remastered was the beginning of the PS4. But now, like a PS5 Last of Us 2, you could totally say that's a system seller.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Coronavirus could lead to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC delays.
Nothing is sacred anymore. Everything's at risk.
Dang. Even Sakurai's like, fuck this shit.
Sakurai's getting up there in age, man. If he goes, it's over.
True. Good point.
Who's going to take over Smash?
I don't know. No
Gotta
one.
protect Sakurai at all costs.
Well, don't delay it.
It's fine, I think, right now, because like I still think we're a good ways away from that first DLC character even being announced. So like E3 would have been the earliest, but with everything going on, I don't feel like I'm in any rush for Smash to hurry up with its DLC at the moment. The game's great right now.
It really is. Except online.
Except
How about fix the
online.
online? How about while you're not doing shit at home, you fix the online? That could be nice. You ever think of that, Sakurai? Huh?
I don't think Sakurai has any choice in how bad Nintendo's online is in general. Let's be honest.
If I was him, I'd be fucking pissed.
That Smash Bros. Netcode could be godlike, and Nintendo's online would still be shit.
I would be so mad if I was him. I'd be like, Nintendo, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah,
Or I'm going to PlayStation.
I think some of their problems definitely stems from the fact that they need to be there in person to fix the infrastructure too.
That too.
All right, Trials of Mana demo launches on Nintendo Switch tomorrow.
Yep.
More JRPGs.
And the Resident Evil 3's demo drops on Thursday.
Really?
So I got 2 good demos back to back. I'm excited for Trials of Mana. That's just
And
like I said,
this looks so cool. This chick looks so real.
Are you looking at RE3?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jill? Hell yeah.
God damn.
That game looked good.
Jill Valentine.
I've talked to people, and like a lot of people aren't as excited for this as they were for RE2, and it's like it kind of makes sense to me.
Why?
Because
How could you not be even more excited?
when you think about like Resident Evil, the original like 3 on the PlayStation, it was always RE2 then RE3.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 was always the superior game for people.
Plus a beta
Oh,
for the
that was
RE
great.
Resistance multiplayer. Oh, I didn't know they were doing multiplayer.
So that was like the original thing before Resident Evil 3 got announced. It was this project art, this project thing. What is this? And then they announced that they showed trailer of it, and then like after they showed the trailer of it, people realized, wait, this is Resident Evil 3. And it's like, yeah, we're doing Resident Evil 3 and this together.
You play as the cruel mastermind in an intense and immensely satisfying experience.
It's like a 4v1, I think, kind of like
That's
we've done that a bunch of times. It's been done a bunch of times.
That's better. Okay, I'll give it that. That's better. If that's the way you're gonna do Resident Evil 3, that's better.
Although that's not Resident Evil 3. That's Project Resistance. They're two different things, but on the same game. It's like the multiplayer of Resident Evil.
And that's what I'm saying to me though is that's better. Like that, I like that more than just here's Resident Evil.
Just a remake. Yeah, here's something new with it.
Yeah, I wonder how.
I
knew nothing about this.
I know I always argue for new.
So that's at least that's an improvement. I gotta give credit where credit's due.
I think it was because they realized they couldn't just sell Project Resistance by itself, because we've seen that 4v1 style thing tried multiple times, and I don't think I've ever seen a case where it's like been great.
I don't know, dude. Have you ever seen fucking Forza's Battle Royale?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, dude, it's a thing now, and it's as dumb as you'd expect, but it's also actually kind of interesting and kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about it. Like basically, the way that works is it's just a whole bunch of it's all people on a map running around trying to find each other, and then when you find someone, it's a 1v1 race, and it's like, sure, I guess, all right.
Pink slips.
Yeah,
from a
like
pink baby.
If that's the way you're gonna fucking do a BR, sure. See, I mean, if that can work, I think for player co-op weirdness can work.
I knew nothing about this. Wow, I'm gonna have to look at that.
Oh yeah, it's dumb. It's fucking dumb. There's no other way to put it.
I love dumb. All right, and that's it for gaming. We got some tech, and we'll get out of here. First off, Bill Gates leaves the Microsoft board. He's too busy with trying to save the planet, essentially. He's also stepping down from his board on Berkshire Hathaway. And he's going full philanthropist these days with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He makes so much money doing that anyway. It doesn't even need these other companies.
Yeah.
So the era of Bill Gates is gone.
I mean, it's been gone for a long time.
I wonder if he's done anything on the board. Like, has he ever even? What was the last thing you think he's done on the board?
I don't know. Probably told him everything about Windows 10 is bad.
And I would probably agree. All right.
It's a lot better than 8.
Oh, way better. Way better. Did you have Windows 8 at all?
For a bit. And yeah,
a little torrented version of it.
Yep. And it's bad.
Yeah, it's so stupid. All right. And then we have some Canon news. So we got an update on the Canon R5. It's coming with 8K, guys. 8K, full frame, no crop, 30 fucking frames per second, full sensor with dual pixel autofocus and image stabilization. And that's basically all
it
they
only
wanted
costs
to say.
$30,000.
It's only as much as their C600. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. They basically wanted to correct everyone because everyone was just like, "What's the catch? There's gonna be a crop. There's gonna be this." But they said no.
Dude, it's Canon. Everyone expects it, and they're saying there isn't one. So that makes me think there's still probably gonna be one, but it might be minor. Hopefully.
No, I still think there's definitely there's got to be a catch somewhere. There's got to be a catch, and if there's not, then they then they win. Time,
they have only just been like, well, yeah, no, 8K is for real and it's no crop. And it's like, okay, that's really cool. That's important. Still haven't said anything about codecs or anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
we'll
that
have to see.
actually matters probably just as much or more.
I guarantee you it's going to be some HEVC codec. That's the only way I can imagine them doing it without a big ass fan on the back. I can't imagine they do it any other way. But that's not the big news. The big news is the R5. All right, so no, I'm sorry, the R6. So the R6 looks like it's positioning itself to be the Sony A7 III of Canon's mirrorless line. 20 megapixel full frame sensor, IBIS, 12 frames per second burst, 20 frames per second burst electronic, 4K 60, full HD up to 120, dual card slots, lower resolution EVF than the R5, lower build quality than the R5, no top down screen. So you lose the top down screen, you still get the flip out, you still get all the good stuff. It's got IBIS, it's got 4K 60, and it's got a 20 megapixel full frame sensor. This is the little brother that's going to cost half the price. This is the one that I think I'm going to get.
That's the one probably most people will get.
I think this is their hot seller.
Yeah, because no one's going to buy the 8K, to be honest, dude.
No, unless it's
very few people are going to, I think.
It looks like some broadcast is moving to 8K. I don't imagine them using any Canon.
They're not going to, because like the thing too is a lot of broadcast is still stuck on. I mean, shit, dude. A lot of broadcast is still to this day using the old broadcast format, which is like it's smaller than a 2/3 inch sensor.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
see him
trying
just
to
being like, well,
understand
shit, dude, we're
land.
doing Canon 8K mirrorless now.
Yeah, I'm very curious why the 8K, but I'm more curious about like just the megapixel sensor of the R5, because it could just be so nice and crispy and clean for all that. But I don't need any of that when you shoot YouTube videos. 20 megapixel is perfectly adequate. And you just want the IBIS and then the 4K 60, and I'm happy, and a flip out screen.
Yeah, like honestly, if you're doing 4K, 20 is more than good enough.
Now, what's the catch in this camera? Is what I say, right? What's the one that makes you want to go? Oh, now I need the R5, because that's how they do it. They give you this, and they go, this has everything you need, except it's only in I don't know. It's only in
dude, I'll get
IFB codec.
Yeah, no, I'll get the RP treatment of you get dual pixel autofocus in 4K 30, but if you use 24/60, it's just contrast.
Yeah, something stupid like that. That's where the catch is. It's gonna be in this camera.
Because that's what it's gonna be. Because that's the only reason why you wouldn't buy an RP, honestly. Is like, especially now that they finally fucking added 24 frames, like. Well, the only thing saying like why should I buy an R really over an RP is the fact that you don't get autofocus.
Yeah.
So that's entirely what I would expect then.
Yeah, I'm very curious to know what the catch is going to be for this camera.
That's what I'm guessing. Like, and it might be a deal breaker and it might not be, because I could also see them just pulling out some stupid bag of tricks of just like, well, the R6 has our newest version of dual pixel, but the R5 we don't really only had space for like the Canon M3's dual pixel autofocus or some bullshit.
Yeah. Or it could just be this.
Could be great.
Or it could just be this here's the camera that you want, which would be nice, but we're all waiting for some sort of catch. And
the biggest thing that would kill me personally, and this is more of a personal issue, I guess, is if the biggest cripple, I guess, to me that possibly they could do is make it not work with the ND-EF adapter.
Oh no, you shouldn't have a problem with that.
I know it won't, but that would be the only thing that would kill me, because I just want to buy all EF glass anyway.
Yeah.
For right now, because that's the most future proof of anything.
Yeah, I would be most worried about autofocus.
Yeah.
If you lose autofocus in 4K 60, I'm not too mad. If you do a crop on 4K 60, I'm not too mad. If you lose autofocus on 4K altogether and you get a crop, then you go R5. And that's how I see that they can move you up. They go, no, the R5 is the one where you get 4K full frame and full sensor readout and all that. And then I'd be like, God damn you, fucking Canon. But I would go with the R5 just for that. We'll see. Very interesting from Canon. Interesting stuff. Everyone wants to know what the catch is.
But if there's no catch, then yeah, then that's a killer. That's a killer.
Then it just comes down
of
to price.
options. Yeah.
And then, I mean, in terms of
I mean,
just,
if they can price it anywhere close to the current R pricing, and I by that I mean MSRP. So like, say it's that 2,300, like right competing with A7S3, not A7.
are you talking about R6 or R6 you're saying?
No, the R5
Oh, the R5 is going to
or
be.
the R6. Yes.
Yeah,
The R6
R6.
is the worst one. The worst one.
Yeah, they go down in numbers. They like to go, the one is the best usually.
Yeah. Like if they can put that where just make that the R successor, put it at that $2,300. It's more expensive than an A7 III, but not by much. But it's a little bit cheaper than whenever Sony does an A7S4 because they won't do a 3. Like
Right.
if it's right in that little range,
But then the question is, does Sony come out with the A7 IV and it has a flip out screen? Then which one do you go with? I don't know. That's the tough one. They have to do it. If it has no flip out screen, then Canon takes all the sales.
I'd probably go with Canon still then.
Yeah,
honestly.
I probably would too. But
just mostly because of lens selection.
yeah.
You can just get such good cheap Canon glass.
But Sony always has a fucking whole bag of features that is nice to have. We'll see.
And a really
been so
bad
quiet.
1080p codec.
They have to fix it. I imagine they fix it. Just bump the bitrate up. That's all they have to do. They don't even need to do much. Just allow
Honestly, yeah. It's that or something because their cinema line 1080p actually looks good, but the fucking ones on any of their mirrorless is dog shit.
Yeah.
And if that's like what your main demographic is, especially for like YouTube and stuff like that, like Canon, it's Canon and Fuji.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't touch Canon and Fuji basically.
Yeah, Sony's in deep shit. They need to pull something out, and they've been so quiet and then nothing. And they released a 20 millimeter lens recently. Like, who gives a shit?
Dude, I do actually. That lens is actually kind of cool.
You're a Prime guy. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I'm not against primes. Like, dude, 20 on a full frame at 1.8. That is my life.
That's a little too restrictive. Your plane of focus is like that big. It just gets your
True.
nose
I mean,
in
you stop
focus.
down. Yeah.
All right.
No, that's
That's
dude.
it.
I've noticed that actually in a lot lately. Of there's a lot of YouTube food people who just think bokeh is great.
Tone.
So that the tone, the tone issue, but it's annoying because they're still using like a 6300s or 6500s, you know what I mean? So it's still a crop sensor. So it's like they're slapping on a 2.8 thinking it's really fast. You're not going to get tone out of it, but they're still trying. It's annoying as hell because they'll just zoom down onto their food and it's like, yes, this 1 grain of rice of the entire bowl is in focus. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's why you got industry standard F4. Throw it on F4. You're not gonna worry about that bullshit.
Yeah.
Or 2.8 on a full frame. By the way, should
Even
we talk
then,
about
yeah.
Philip Bloom's 2-hour movie on the Sony camera?
Dude, it makes me want one, to be
He's
honest.
out of control.
I love it, dude. Like, I want more reviews like that. I don't know if he was hanging out with Gerald and Dunn too much and was just like, okay, Papa's home or what?
Yeah, so he did a review of the Sony PXW FX9. The FX9. This is like a industry documentary camera. And he literally made a movie on it.
This is the camera that scared Canon enough to make the C500 good again.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I guess
up.
all of the Sony ones. A lot of people really like
right,
them.
but this is the full frame versus full frame
Yeah.
cinema camera.
Yeah. And it looks great. It does look like a really good camera and yeah.
I'm happy too though that now with Sony joining it, we now actually have 5. We have 5 options now that are full frame cinema cameras. You got Arri large format, you got Red, you got that Kino Flow whatever thing. Then you got a C500 and you got an FX9. Like there's actually options now for like real movie makers or cinematographers to start using large format,
Yeah.
which I think that's going to be interesting, seeing how that goes over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Me too. I think it's going to be a lot more. You're going to see it a lot more on YouTube, I think, than you do in cinema. I still think cinema is going to stick to Super 35 or large format. Just because they're just weird like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just weird like that. They like to keep like, oh, I like the way that this was shot, so I want it to look the same way. But I do think these types of cameras are going to do really well in like documentary or like Netflix stuff, TV production, or YouTube, or
No,
just in Philip Bloom documentaries. Fucking 2 hour. He literally made
Yeah.
a movie on this camera. It's insane. Like, how much time did this take? It had to have taken forever.
He said he hasn't uploaded a video since December.
Oh my god.
And you can tell some of the footage is still there from like last July. Like this has been like a 6-7 month project basically.
Oh my god. Sony better have paid him out the ass to do this. And they
I'd
probably
hope,
didn't.
'cause
They probably
They probably
That's the
didn't at
thing.
all. No, dude.
He just loves reviewing cameras.
That and he's a Sony fan.
Yeah. I don't even really like his reviews. Like I like them. I shouldn't say that. I do like his reviews, but I see them more as like I just want to see how he uses it. You know what I mean? As
Well, the
opposed to
thing I
like
love
his
about
thoughts on it.
The thing, and I haven't checked with this one, the thing I always loved about his reviews though is yes, he shoots in a style that I don't. He is a very European documentary shooter, basically, and I'm not. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I do like some of his style, but like the thing I always loved about his reviews and what matters to him, he would always put just a dump of the raw footage, and you'd go and take the raw footage and actually just play with it yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the coolest video review
costs
someone
money,
could
too.
do.
That's
Yeah.
not cheap for him. That shit is so large. Yeah, this camera does look nice. The autofocus looks incredible, actually. All right. That's it for the show. Stay quarantined. Stay safe. Don't go outside. Don't mingle with no one. Don't fucking touch anyone. Don't call anyone. Don't do nothing. Just stay inside a couple weeks. This will blow over. I'll be here. You'll be here. We'll be chilling, playing games. Go play Ori. Go play Nioh. And yeah, have a good night. Peace, everyone.
Buy a $30,000 camera.
Do that too. Go watch